an organization that is trying to remind us all about giving back during this time is the Rotary Club. We are going to be joined now on the Oakland County Megacast by Scott Loney. He is with the West Bloomfield Rotary Club. And Renee Patitas, she is with Team Turkey Chair from Troy Rotary Club. Scott, Renee, you're up first. How about we go ahead and we have them in two different locations, just so everyone knows. So they're Zooming from two different locations. Renee, since you're already up, why don't we start with you? Thank you for being with us on the Oakland County Megacast.
Well, thank you so much for asking me to be on. This is exciting, and I hope that it helps more people understand the type of work we're doing in all of our communities and that they can get involved as well.
Yeah, so let's start with an overview of the Rotary Club and what you actually do each and every day.
Well, Rotary is one of the largest service organizations in the world, and yet we're unfortunately wildly unknown in many areas in North America. A lot of times when you enter any town, you'll see the big sign on the outside of town, and there's the Lions and the Kiwanis, and then there's a Rotary wheel. And we are a service organization that's 1.2 million members strong all across the globe. We've been around for over 110 years now. And basically, we focus on helping people that need help, whether that is people who are food insecure. We work with the Gates Foundation, vaccinating people around the world. We're involved in water projects for areas that cannot bring water into their own towns and villages. So there's virtually no part of the world that we are not involved in, and we're very active in our own communities.
Scott, if we can go ahead and bring you into the show now as well, how great is the need been for you and your services during this COVID-19 crisis?
Well, every year we see a need in our communities. I'm with the West Bloomfield Rotary Club, and West Bloomfield is widely known as being an affluent community, and there are a lot of people who join the Rotary Club and look abroad for opportunities to help people. It's not that they ignore the needs in our own community, but I think they don't think that they need to look in our own communities for people in need. And believe me, when you start poking around, even in West Bloomfield, you'll find plenty of people who need help. And we find them every year, and we're finding more this year because, to answer your question, the COVID crisis has made the need greater. We've always had people who move into this community because it's an aspirational community for their children to get into a good school district, and maybe they need some support in other ways. But now a lot of people are losing their jobs. People who weren't insecure last year are insecure this year. So the need is actually greater, and we're trying to fill that need at a time when it's actually harder to fill that need because, of course, as Renee and I will talk about later, it's a fundraising effort that then turns into procuring fully cooked meals that are delivered on Thanksgiving morning, you actually have to get on the road and deliver boxes of food, and some people are reluctant to do that in the coronavirus environment. And we found ways that we think we can do this safely. But while impediments, the coronavirus, the pandemic has thrown impediments in our way, we're actually trying to increase the output of our project.
So how are you doing on volunteers? Are you short on volunteers? Could you use more?
Renee should speak more broadly. There are 5 clubs involved in this effort. It's not just us. And I can tell you that in my club here in West Bloomfield, we've gotten a great turnout. And it's not only club members, but we're getting people from local businesses that I talk about this to. People who have nothing to do with Rotary except they love the idea of sharing Thanksgiving. More than half the cars that we put on the road last year in my club were non-Rotarians, and that's going to be true again this year. I should also point out that the township government and the police department are enthusiastic supporters of this project. They just love getting out. It's an opportunity for them to work with their citizens. There's nothing quite like having a police cruiser and a van pull up in front of your house on Thanksgiving morning and 4 uniformed officers get out. It's a one time when it's good news, and the police chief just loves doing this. And he has participated for the last couple of years. I'm not going to put him on the spot this year because, of course, their participation is contingent upon their not being out on call on some urgent issue that they have to deal with. But they've said they're going to participate again this year. And so we've gotten support across the community. We can always use more. Our biggest need right now is drivers. And we have a way for people to sign up. We have a website, rotaryteamturkey.org, and there's a place for you to sign up, or they can contact me or Renee personally to participate.
So, Renee, if we could go ahead and bring you back into the show, give us an overview of Team Turkey and how many meals you hope to deliver this year.
Well, this year, before COVID, our goal was going to be even higher than last year. Last year, we delivered 359 meals to roughly 350 families in the surrounding community. This year, we are going to be doing 230 meals. And unfortunately, that is a result of funding by and large. And people are much more cautious. And at the same time, the need is greater than ever. But 230 meals is nothing to sneeze at. And these meals themselves feed 6 to 8 people. And it is a full Thanksgiving dinner down to dessert. We are looking for more drivers. I just want to reemphasize what Scott had said. If you'd like to volunteer to drive, you absolutely do not need to be a Rotarian. I can tell you that 4 people from my office have signed up just to participate and deliver meals. The Troy firefighters are bringing their entire fire truck and going to be delivering to 20 different families. The Troy Police Department will be involved. City of Rochester will have representation there. And Kroger and Myers employees often jump in and help us as well. So this is just a huge effort, and we are very, very fortunate to be able to expand our families on Thanksgiving with those that just don't have as much as some of us do right now and are feeling more food insecure. And unfortunately, what we have found is that this year, the need has been greater than ever, much bigger than we've had in the last 4 years that I have chaired this event, which still speaks to how much most of us don't realize this COVID pandemic is affecting families dramatically.
And Renee, you have participated in previous years. This year is not going to be like a typical Thanksgiving. We do not have the lions. We do not have the turkey trot. We do not have the parade going on downtown. So with that, a lot of typical traditions are going to be changing. So is this a time for families to maybe pick up volunteering for this event or other organizations on Thanksgiving? A good way and a good time for them to start a new family tradition?
Oh, absolutely. I can tell you that you just gave me goosebumps to even just think about it. Every year that I've been involved with this program, it's a couple of hours on our Thanksgiving morning that we actually get to expand our family circle. And it is one of the most rewarding service projects I've ever been involved with. And I hope that it continues to grow year after year. And it's not about us, and I want to clarify this because I do think it's important. We're not doing this as charity for people who are, say, less fortunate. That's not the purpose of this. We all have different experiences in life and times when things are tougher than others. And this is an opportunity for families to get involved and expand their understanding of giving thanks and what they have. And I would encourage anybody to be involved. Last year, with 5 clubs involved, and especially West Bloomfield's push. Scott Loney has been amazing in terms of getting community involvement with this. We had over 80 carloads of volunteers. So think about that. And most cars had 2 to 3 people in it. And that's just people showing up to grab 3 to 4 meals and deliver them to people they've never met, but are now part of their family. So it is rewarding, and I would encourage anybody to get involved with it.
We're joined by Renee Pathidis and Scott Loney from the Troy and West Bloomfield Rotary Clubs on the Oakland County MegaCast. And Scott, in terms of West Bloomfield's involvement in Team Turkey in 2020 and these efforts, how far along is the West Bloomfield Club, for those that are listening and watching in our local area, in terms of getting the volunteers that will be needed for the delivery and the fundraising that's also needed for this great thing that's being done in our community and other communities surrounding us on Thanksgiving?
I'm pleased to tell you that I think we have the funding we need to put the cars on the road with the meals in them that we've committed to deliver on Thanksgiving morning. Unusually, money is not the issue. We do need the warm bodies. We need people to help us out. As I'd like to magnify a little bit of what Renee said, I do a presentation on this, and the last slide says, help share Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving morning. You'll remember it as the best thing you did in 2020. And I said the same thing last year about 2019, and I have the people from 2019 calling me up and telling me that I was right, and they're doing it again. I'm not calling them, they're calling me. So, as Renee said, it's not just a one-way delivery of service to families. We get a lot out of it by giving back to our communities and the families in the communities. We're all sort of in this together, and that's the way we approach it. We're sharing Thanksgiving as a family. So we still need to answer your question more directly, drivers. And you can go to our website and you can volunteer to drive. I'd also like to point out, if I may, that our website gives you an opportunity to buy a stylish Rotary mask, which is the latest thing in coronavirus fashion. Who needs Hermès and Louis Vuitton when you can get Rotary branded merchandise at RotaryTeamTurkey.org.
and you rock
Deliver
that
them to your
mask.
home.
You rock the mask very well there, Scott. It's very well. So, and Scott or Renee, who cooks the meals and who puts them all together?
Let me defer to Renee on that one.
Well, so we're very fortunate to have worked over the years with Kroger as well as Meijer. So what they allow us to do is we plan what would be a full Thanksgiving meal. And a lot of people, and again, this was very eye-opening, and it was a life-changing experience for me, was delivering to families in Royal Oak and the outskirts of Birmingham and Troy, who actually don't have a stove. So the turkey itself is a pre-cooked bird that only needs to be reheated and can be done so even in a microwave. And then all the fixings that go with a traditional Thanksgiving meal, stuffing, gravy, vegetables, pie, cranberries, dinner rolls, are all included in this meal. Those other items are all something that can be prepared in a microwave or on a hot plate. So that's basically what goes into each and every meal. And both Meijer and Kroger often also donate a small gift card to each family so that if they need to get anything else at the store, they can do so as well.
So, Scott, if I can ask you this question, we heard from Renee about her experience in delivering some of these meals to some of the families. You personally, and members of your family, what has this meant to you to be able to take part in something like this?
Well, one of the most amazing things is, as Renee suggested, we get up early in the morning. I mean, we're actually at the Meijer or Kroger parking lot at 6:30 or 7 o'clock in the morning, depending on how it's organized. And just seeing my family get up that early is just an incredible thing. I haven't gotten my daughter into this yet, but Sarah, my wife, delivered with me last year, and probably will do so again this year. It's just a wonderful way to start the day. It doesn't impinge in any way on any other plans you might have, because I assure you, you're home by 9:30 or 10 in the morning, when you're probably about to get up under other circumstances anyway. But I've seen a lot of families get involved, bring their kids along just to show them what Thanksgiving is all about. It's not about you eating a turkey. It's making sure that your neighbors get to eat a turkey as well as you. And it's a great lesson for parents to teach their children, and for us to teach each other.
And, like you said, it's a great reminder for us to be grateful for all the things that we do have in this world, even in the middle of a COVID-19 crisis. So with that, which 5 communities does this cover again? And can people pick and choose the areas in which they want to deliver some of the meals?
I'll take that one if you don't mind, Renee. So Troy, West Bloomfield, Lakes Area Rotary Club, which is mainly just west of us in Commerce, Sterling Heights, and Birmingham. We should also mention that the Royal Oak Youth Association has been not a Rotary organization, but heard about us and has become an institutional participant. They gave us some funding, and no doubt we'll have some participants driving as well. And yeah, if we're putting our driver list together over the next couple of weeks, and it's arranged by zip code. So if somebody comes from a place, just tell us where you live, and we'll find the nearest 3 homes to you by zip code. They're usually pretty tightly spaced and pretty close together. So if people have a special, and we've done this before, people in my club, I only want to deliver in Royal Oak, or just as an example. Great, here are 3 Royal Oak addresses, go for it.
Scott Loney and Renee Paphitis with us on the Oakland County MegaCast. They are from the West Bloomfield and Troy Rotary Clubs, joining us today to talk about their Team Turkey effort to deliver Thanksgiving meals to families throughout our local area here in the greater West Bloomfield community, as well as in Metro Detroit on Thanksgiving Day. So as of now, if people want to get involved, either Renee, in your club, I'll ask you first, in your club, how can they get involved in this effort if they'd like to volunteer? And then we'll move on to Scott for those in the West Bloomfield area that would like to get involved as well.
Actually, the easiest way to get involved is to simply go to rotaryteamturkey.org, because you can donate, you can volunteer to drive, you can even suggest a family in need, and it's all just there. You can even buy your Rotary fashionable face mask. Everything is on the site in one easy area. You can see photos from previous years of participation. And I do want to let everybody know, because I do think it's important with everything that's going on in this pandemic, that we are changing some of our procedures with regard to loading. We will take precautions. Everybody who's delivering will be wearing masks and gloves. We will be delivering to the person's home and not going in, which we have in the past because we're often invited in. So this year we will take extra precautions. If you want to participate, we will do our best to make sure that everything is taken care of so that you do not need to worry about that.
So, Scott, let me ask you, if someone maybe can't do the Thanksgiving Day festivities, but they're hearing about some of the good work that you and the other members of the Rotary Club do, what should they do to join the Rotary Club? Are there dues, and how often are you meeting? And are you meeting right now virtually because of the pandemic?
I think our club is pretty typical. Yeah, we're meeting virtually. I think there are some clubs that have gotten together over the last 6 months a few times in person, but most clubs are doing Zoom meetings. Just feels just like this interview. What you should do is you can just go Google. If you live in West Bloomfield, you can go Google West Bloomfield Rotary Club, and our website will come up. And you can find out more there. If you're talking about getting more involved in Rotary generally, not just on Thanksgiving. Yes, there are dues. They're not huge, but we do have costs to run the program, and there are some publications that are involved in Rotary membership. And just find out how the club works. It's going to be like a once a week, about an hour commitment just for the meetings. But once again, you get out of it what you put in. And if all you're doing is going to the meetings, that's good. You'll meet a lot of great people, and we would welcome you. But it's the work outside the meetings. The meetings help us organize things like this, where we really go out into the community and do the things we want to do to support our fellow West Bloomfielders and people throughout the area. But if you're specifically talking about Team Turkey, as we've been saying, RotaryTeamTurkey.org. I guess I should mention that your purchase of a face mask supports Team Turkey. All the funds go to Team Turkey. That's one. If you can't drive and you want to help out, we will be doing Team Turkey again next year. So we can start fundraising for next year. Buy 10 masks. You might need them.
There you go. Well, we're hoping that one day we will not be able to, we will not need a mask to leave our homes. One day, hopefully soon, although the vaccine, good news, it looks like a vaccine is going to happen. But in the meantime, we want to say thank you to you and your team for all that you're doing, and we're wishing you the best of luck on your Team Turkey event. Thank you for being with us on the Oakland County MegaCast.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us and helping us.